Hello everyone, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This time I am reviewing the Marvel Legends White Rabbit. This is part of the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure wave in early 2020, and I found it in the store at the time, and that's where I bought it. So here it is in a nice window box where we can see the action figure plus the accessories, so we can inspect it before we buy it. So this is the best way to buy action figures. So here is the front of the box. There is the top of the box. And the bottom of the box with some manufacturing information. One side of the box with a picture of White Rabbit. The other side with the mirror image of the picture of White Rabbit. Here is the back with a picture of the action figure here and a little mini biography here. The Demogoblin Build-A-Figure. The other action figures in the wave, I have reviewed these already. This will be coming up soon. And some more manufacturing information. So I will open this up and review the action figure itself in just a moment. Here is the White Rabbit action figure. This is the only accessory that it comes with, which is an umbrella that shoots razor-tipped carrots. This has a blast effect at the end here. I'm not sure that we can take it off. Maybe we can, but I don't want to pull it off. But it kind of turns here. So it looks like a nicely sculpted umbrella. It's interesting effect. So the White Rabbit is a supervillain that battles Spider-Man, and I don't think I've ever read a comic book with this particular character in it. But it's an interesting looking character. Let's take a look at how tall this action figure is. Up to the top of the head, it's about 6 inches tall, or a little more than 15 centimeters tall. Up to the top of the ear, it's about 7 inches, or 18 centimeters tall to the top of the ear. So, looks like one of the taller action figures. Let's take a look at the details. There, looks like very nicely sculpted and painted face there. Looks like the painting is very nice and clear on the ears and the face. So I really appreciate the attention to detail and how it came out very nicely. Nicely sculpted hair. Some of these are a bit pliable at the end, the thinner parts. But a lot of nice work there. And lots of sculpting for the body here. And some nice painting and a little clock there. So a lot of attention to detail. And here's the arms are sculpted to look like a jacket. And the jacket is a separate piece of plastic. It looks like some pliable plastic, although it's a bit stiff in some places. And it does have some nice texturing work on the jacket, so I can feel it as I rub my fingers across it. So very nice. And then flesh legs. Looks like no pants or clothing, so very nice and smooth. And the boots here kind of very fluffy. That's a hard plastic, but it certainly looks like it's fluffy. And we have peg holes and the heels there. And could probably lift this up a little bit. I want to be careful here not to lift it too much, because I think part of this will tear. It would probably tear here if I lift it the wrong way. But just the back of the legs there. So looks like a nicely sculpted action figure. Let's take a look at the articulation here. So the head, because of all the hair, we can't really look up. We can look down just a little bit. Turn side to side just a little bit. And a little tilting. The shoulders, they go out. That much. And They go around both sides. Well, the hair gets in the way, so it would go around if it weren't for the hair. There's no bicep cut. There's a single jointed elbow, bends in that much, so this side looks a little better. Instead of the bicep cut, there's a swivel at the elbow, so that works. And then the wrist can turn, and then there are hinges at the wrist. Okay, and there is a diaphragm cut, but I have not been able to make it bend forward at all, and maybe it'll go back just a little bit. It's a little hard to get in there. This plastic piece for the jacket here, I think, is interfering with that articulation. We can turn. Now we can't really get it to move. We can get it to twist at the diaphragm cut. And that's about as much as we can do because of the limitation imposed by the jacket. The waist, or the hips, we can do the splits. Not too bad. And kick forward. Very nice. Kick back a little bit. Kick forward and kick back just a little bit. There's an upper thigh cut here. Now to get the upper thigh cut to twist, we want to be careful there, because we can get it that way. Otherwise down here we're really twisting the hip joint at the ball joint up there. So we want to hold on to it to twist the upper thigh cut. But that will work. Same thing on this side. Otherwise it wants to twist at the ball joint. Then we have double jointed knees. So pretty impressive there. So I'm moving it out here because the jacket will get in the way. But we can bend it this much. We have to get it in the right place to be able to bend it. There we go. So pretty nice. And then at the boot, there is no boot cut, so it doesn't twist at the boot, so no boot cut there. The ankles will go down that much, and they go up just a little bit, just a tiny little bit, not very much. And we do have some ankle pivot, except it's a bit stiff. So looks like all the joints are working pretty well on this action figure. I just can't get that diaphragm cut to move, but that's because of this jacket. So just a little bit annoying, but I'm not too upset about it. Other than that, all the joints seem to be working properly, and they are not too loose yet. I just got this out of the package, so they're not too loose, and they're not too tight. So let's see if I can get White Rabbit to stand again. Get the joints straightened out, and there, we can get White Rabbit to stand. There we go. That looks pretty nice. Here is White Rabbit next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is a 4-inch action figure from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. And on the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. Here is White Rabbit with a pair of 6-inch action figures. On the right is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin White Ranger. And on the left is the Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic action figure. Both of those are made by Hasbro. Here is White Rabbit next to the Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, He-Man action figure, 7 inches by Mattel on the right. And on the left is the Fortnite Legendary Series Rabbit Raider by Jazzwares. That's 6 inches. I think Rabbit Raider would make a nice henchman for White Rabbit, as she is the queen of crime as she fights against Spider-Man. Here is White Rabbit next to the other action figures from this wave that I have already reviewed. From left to right, the Superior Octopus, Vulture, White Rabbit, Velocity Suit Spider-Man, and Spider Armor Mark III Spider-Man. The HammerTron Sledgehammer rating for White Rabbit is okay. I'd actually like to make this a little higher than okay, but there are a couple of problems with the diaphragm cut joint not really working. It's partially due to the extra coat piece that's limiting the articulation, but also perhaps the design itself is just not very good for this kind of action figure. The other problem is the lower knee joint on both legs are pretty loose. A little hard to see. You might not be able to see the legs wobbling here, but the lower joint is a bit loose on both sides, and I've only been playing around with this for just a little bit. But I do like the action figure itself. It looks nice. All the other joints are working pretty nicely for me, so I'm happy about that. The joints are not too tight, they're not too loose, except for these down here. So I do like it, and I'm also especially happy to have a much more obscure character turned into an action figure. I don't think I've even read a comic book with a White Rabbit in it, but I'm happy to have an obscure character to add to a display or diorama. So this action figure is okay. Thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.